Good evening. How we doing? Ah dear. Move things around, I still can't get used to it. A month later. How's everyone doing? It's Friday. End of the week already. I feel like it's been both a short and a long week at the same time, you know? It's kind of zoomed by, but also feels like it was ages ago. The start of the week. Or at least Monday feels like it was ages ago, which is when we last dived into Starfield. Yeah, I'm kicking things. Hang on. There we go. Move my feet. So yeah, it does feel like a minute, even though it's not actually been that long. But yeah, good jump in, and we wrapped up the Ryujin questline last time, so the plan is to kind of tie up some loose ends, I think. Do a bit of side questing, potter around, hunt down some powers, that sort of thing, see what happens, and yeah, play it by ear a little bit, I think. How are we doing, Xion? Higasaki? Happy about well? Over 500 hours, level 172. Part where it says go to Unity. I don't know, to be honest with you. It sounds like you're in front of where I am yeah, it sounds like you're in front of where I am in Starfield. I have not done a New Game Plus thing. Not sure if I'm going to really on this one. Probably maybe kind of start one and then pause it there, but I don't know. Because I need to finish my current outpost build yet. Probably get cracking on that, really, shouldn't I? And at least that'll be done before I consider starting New Game Plus, because I assume my outpost will not be present when I head to the New Game Plus thing. But it sounds like you are moving towards the latter stages of the game, at least. So, yeah, I assume it will let you know before you start a New Game Plus, rather than just going, haha, you're screwed. I imagine it will be clear what you are doing, although it may well break the rhythm a little bit by then. Yeah, you don't want to go into it. That's fair enough. Yeah, I don't think it'll let you stumble into it without realising. But, yeah, I mean, the warning may be ever so slightly I don't know, break the immersion a tiny little bit. I don't know what word I'm looking for to describe that, but you know what I mean. But I would suspect there'd be a warning. But yeah, it sounds like you're a little bit in front of me, so you can turn around and can turn to your current universe. Nice. Yeah, well, appreciate the input there, Brad. Hope you're doing well. Right, I've got folds in my sleeves and they're messing with my elbows. Right, I think everything seems to be up and running nicely, so shall we start clicking things? Might, well, I want to see what happens at the moment. Have I done a video on The Last of Us 2 Remastered? I have not, and have no plans to either. I played, excuse me, long ago, Last of Us, the original one, the first one, on my own time. Actually, I think I was house sitting for my mother at the time, and I played through the whole darn thing at the time. I had a really great time with it, really enjoyed it, but most of the promotional stuff from Last of Us 2 made me just think it was going to be that much more miserable and depressing that I didn't want to spend my time playing a game that was going to be that miserable, so I didn't. I never played the second one, and have no particular urge to, based on what I've seen and heard since. My initial assessment seems to be about bang on, that it's just kind of unnecessarily unpleasant. Well, maybe it aids the story, but it's not something I'm particularly interested in diving into. And yeah, therefore remastered versions don't appeal anymore either. So that's kind of where I am with the Last of Us. The first one was amazing, but I feel like they kind of turned up the unpleasantness for 2. I got that vibe before it came out, and I'm not interested in that at all. Not fun to me. Yeah. I don't want to be miserable or watch the news, thanks. I won't play video games. It's kind of what I do to avoid being miserable, you know? That's kind of my vibe with it. Anyway, there's the button I pressed earlier. Evening, Grey. Hope you're doing well. Oh, yeah. Hang on. I need to do a quick thing, don't I? Button. There we go. Now we kind of match the Starfield UI a little bit more. Because I had that thing sat in a folder on the computer that I hadn't used in years, and it kind of matches the Starfield UI fairly well, the cam frame. So I thought, you know what, let's dig it out and use it. So I did. Although for other things, I kind of like having a no-frame approach, just for kind of streamline, and it works fairly well. So yeah, that streamline look is kind of hard to look. I don't know. There was a thing a few years ago where going big and flashy and crazy and stuff, particularly sort of pre-COVID, was really the thing, and then it kind of swung back the other way to a much more streamlined vibe, was what seemed to be the thing, and I was definitely in favour of that change. Still working out and getting switched on. That's fair enough. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces to do before I get there, but that one will be probably next week. I think we'll pursue that. Possibly Monday, probably Monday, yeah. Probably. We'll see. Because we've also got Enshrouded on the go. So I had a little bit of a play around with that on Wednesday, and I've jumped in a couple of times since to put a video together, or get bits of footage for a video. Ahem. And yeah, I've been really enjoying that, so... I mean, that should be fun to play as well. Nice. So we're hanging out in Neon. Well, we've just finished the Fusion quest line anyway.
Dusty.
He's weird, Barrett. Oh yeah, not that one, because that's the Fallout button. That one. Okay, so I've got Dear Sister, I need to deliver a letter to Julia. We can do that, that's probably not a bad place to start. I've definitely got a quest line here in... I've got to talk with everybody. I'll hold off on that a little bit, I think, maybe. With the opportunity rover on Mars, we can do that. We've got a few little bits and pieces there to do. We've got some Power from Beyond stuff to do. This one's still bugged, and I need to fix that. Don't need to do that. Not bothered about these either. That's that. Not bothered about those either. They're just random side missions. So we've got a few bits to do. I think first up we'll take off and go and deliver that message. We'll see how we're going there. Red Dead 3 has been confirmed. I'd assume there will be another entry into the Red Dead franchise. As to its nature, I have no idea. Can't really go much further forward in time than Red Dead Redemption was, because it stops being Old West then. So I guess they're going to do something new but further back, maybe? Who knows? Might be interesting. Either way, that'll be fun. Enjoyed the first two, well, Red Dead and Red Dead 2 I very much enjoyed, so hopefully at some point we'll get to play... Ship's back here, eh? Whatever next addition to the Red Dead franchise there is, should be fun to play. Oh dear, no. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about it, but I think most of my YouTube's kind of been inundated with music-related stuff at the moment. My viewing side of it, anyway.
Our daring voyage of the oceans of space brings us here.
Right, where is the ship? Already there, so apparently I just need to drop out of here and look for it. There's a moon over there somewhere, but I'm not getting a marker, so... I'm going to try a new approach, because it's the place I need to go to deliver this will be the EGSC Constant, which, you know, says I'm already at this location. It's not giving me a marker, and I suspect that's a slight bug, because I'm not at the right location, because I really doubt the ship is here at all. Not seeing any indications that it might be. No, I don't think so. That was the wrong button entirely. So I think what we're going to do is turn that off a minute. Go to activity. Location of the ECS constant. And find out that that is in fact not here, presumably. Well, it claims it's here. Somehow, I don't think it is. Alright, let's try this. Let's try a thing. New ship, only hardship. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll have to go in the same bucket as Hogwarts Legacy 1 for me, I'm afraid, Saki. Ooh, shite, that's about time to have a drink. Which is to say, I might pick it up when it's in the bargain bin, but not before. Surprised Ecliptic don't like me very much, to be honest. And everything else as well.
Please respond. We weren't expecting so many ecliptic vessels. My crew wants you to know how much we appreciate the help. Any way we can repay you?
Cash will do nicely. Credits will do fine.
You take care.
Gonna be like that, is it? Okay. Let's see whether or not we have a bit more luck this time. Well, the ship is apparently not here, which is wonderful. So I guess we're going to go do something else and come back to this because for some bloody reason I can't actually get this working. Yep, it's not giving me a marker on the HUD, so I can't go there basically, and the ship's not here anyway, so it shouldn't be here, it should be elsewhere anyway, I think, but I think it's wigged out, that one. That one. Right. So, I believe there is something to do at Neon, from what I remember. I don't think I have a marker for it here, but I think there is something to do when I'm there. Hamza, that's him, actually. So, yeah, let's crack on with that. Don't know anything about this quest, it's just somebody apparently I should go and see. Maybe there'll be a quest or something. And we needed some power from beyond, and there was one quest. I had a quick scan around online to see if there was anything leaping out that I hadn't done that needed doing. Oh, something in Ryujin, huh? And there's only really one that seems to be listed that people are saying you should do this, so go and have a look at that as well. Back at Ryujin, huh? Oh, I'm still in Ryujin clothing, and that's well and good, but I don't want to be. Back to my preferred outfit. Yes, I can't wait. Operations, huh? Pretty sure that's where my office is. Who's Hamza and what does he want? There he is. It's my office, I think, isn't it? No, that one.
Make it quick.
Ah.
I have a deadline. You're interrupting me. Is this time accounted for?
How many ways could I want to clobber you?
We're on a strict schedule. I just want to make sure this impromptu meeting is properly tracked.
Who requests his time back? I don't care if it is or not.
I will take that as a no. It's not accounted for. If time is money, then suffice to say Ms. Serrano would not be pleased with such a frivolous expenditure.
Serrano. Which one's Serrano? Yeah.
Ms. Yuko Serrano?
Aye.
Senior Operations Specialist at Ryujin Industries? She's one of the heads of the department you're standing in.
Doesn't have to know. Hallway conversation. Don't need to document everything. She doesn't know when it hurts her. I'll leave you alone. It's a hallway conversation. She doesn't need to document everything.
You may have a point. And since you clearly have bandwidth to spare, maybe you can help me clean up a minor indiscretion.
Can I help with that? Something we need to discuss. What are you working on? What's your schedule here? Is this something we need? What assignments are you working on?
I'm not at liberty to say. I will remind you of another common phrase. Loose lips sink ships. So...
Yeah, that's the plan. Sink this ship as much as humanly possible.
Intel at your peril.
What's your schedule like
We'll
here?
each assign shifts to assist operatives, ensuring coverage at all hours. Personally, I like to keep my circadian rhythms intact. Early to rise, early to bed, as nature intended.
Whatever you say, strange man with very little soul. Is this something we need to discuss in management?
Actually, yes, but I'd rather avoid the embarrassment. Normally, I do a good job of setting boundaries between work and life. This incident is...
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be back here either now. What's your problem then?
good. Let me give you some background. Recently, I've been assisting the impoverished in both Ebside and the underbelly. I pay for the occasional meal, clinic visit, or comfort. But I may have lost a slate in the process. I need you to locate and retrieve it for me.
Wait, just me?
It's not a matter of trust, but one of time. I have little to spare. You do not.
What's in these documents?
Intel for one of our operatives. The contents themselves aren't too sensitive, so if you're thinking of betraying me, they aren't worth much as leverage. My sloppiness is simply an embarrassment that I'd like to correct.
Sure, I'll
Then
find
we
this
have an
like.
agreement. Good. Go to the underbelly and talk to the panhandler, Huang. Discarded items are her specialty, so she may have come across the slate herself. If you can manage to find it, bring it back to me, and I will pay you for the time.
You spend your time volunteering?
Perhaps I can best explain with an analogy. There is an
Hey, Sal,
aquatic
how are you doing?
species on Voli Epsilon, which, by cruel irony or test of metal, hatches on dry land. Only 1 in 10,000 make it to adulthood. Most are eaten, some simply die in the crawl to the ocean. Meanwhile, there is a similar species that is born in the water itself. They never make this journey and thus never know its hardship. Which begs the question, is that fair?
Life isn't fair, it's not needs to change. Stop listening 3 sentences ago. Basically, some people are not as fortunate as others, and that's not fair, and he wants to do something about it. So actually, he seems to have a bit of a soul, even if he hasn't got a great deal of personality. It's not so easy to
I
change.
agree, which is why I choose to help those born into poverty. I know what you're thinking, and I am not what you'd call a bleeding heart. Moreover, I find the underbelly filthy and unsanitary. But I also believe in equity. I am well aware
That sounds like a bit of a
that my
prick.
life came with a head start. So I try my best to balance the equation and bring the hatchlings to the water.
Sounds like a beating heart, fair enough. We call it sanitary, I call it character. Pretty filthy down there, not gonna lie. Fair enough.
I don't wish to speak ill of them, of course. It's not their fault, just a fact. But as much as I dislike the underbelly, I will say this. It is a welcome change of pace. When you spend all day keeping secrets, a burden is placed on one's conscience. The time I spend volunteering sheds some of that weight.
So he spends time volunteering because on some level he realises spending your life earning money doing shitty things for shitty people is actually a pretty shitty way of living. So he tries to volunteer to kind of shed some of his guilt, is what he's saying. And he's trying to dress it up with fancy words, but ultimately he knows he's chosen to spend his life in a shitty way because he gets paid for it. And is attempting to weasel some modicum of conscience out of being a volunteer. I'm not going to stop him doing it, but I'm not exactly going to admire him for it, neither. Weekend off, Stella. This is a strange, freakish occurrence. Let's try that way. Might be a shortcut. Some wine, KFC. Yeah, that seems like a solid Friday evening. Crikey. Busy weekend plan then. Have fun. Action, yeah. I should put the quest on. Bouncing the bugs. There we go. Find his missing slate. Working 48 hours a week makes you feel old. Yeah, it'll do that. Yes.
Hey.
The finder of lost things.
Handhandling's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Here, have some cash.
Chief, you're a real safety net. You put the ka-ching in catching.
Nice. Found any slates?
Oh, I totally did. Found it in the dumpster right next to a half-eaten chunk. And it was perfect timing, really. You see, the other day, the wind got a nasty cough and blew away all of my business spreadsheets. But that won't happen with this slate. It's like wind-resistant.
You'll find your old spreadsheets in exchange for the slate. Keep the slates. Make sure you wipe the data on it. You keep spreadsheets?
I do. I write them on napkins you get from the eateries, and I use sauce packets for ink. It's not a perfect system, but it's pretty damn close.
Admire the ingenuity. I can find your old spreadsheets in exchange for the slate.
That would mean I don't have to start over. All right, deal. I lost them near the employee break area. Look for any papers near the ground, the tables, maybe even the roof. You find all 3 spreadsheets, and I'll give you the slate.
Yeah, that's good to hear, Star. Stuff going well. That's a lot of fish. The smell down here is one thing video games can't really capture. But you can bet it'd be rotten. In fact, given the Bay Plaza's only just up there, really, you can imagine the smell wafting up from down below would be pretty rough and all. Earnings, 60 credit. Expenses, 82. Previous month's surplus, 33. Balance, 11. Earnings, 87. Expenses, 78. Previous month's surplus, 24. End of month balance, 33. Last one, apparently, up here, somehow. Yeah. Maybe it's June then. Video games incorporated smell. There'd be a lot less RPGs with sewer levels. Oh yeah! I imagine there would be.
Hey, Chief. Hey! Wow, that's real class of you, Chief. A+ stuff. Now I can get my books sorted, executive style. As promised, your slate. Tell your techie friend I didn't peek inside. And even if I did, I don't know what half of it says anyway.
And even if I did peek inside, I don't know what he wrote in there anyway. Well, I'll admit, maybe not the most complex and amazing questline ever, but fun character there, and the whole kind of homeless person keeping spreadsheets on napkins and using sources for ink is kind of a fun little thing. A lot of personality for a tiny little quest. Colourful outfit she's got
I
there.
think I could pull off that look. With the scarf, with the bangs and everything.
No. In a word. Future Market. Specifically the region end of the plaza. Yeah, Fallout would be a lot more rough in places with a sense of smell attached. Spaceships would probably smell a bit rough in this game as well. Bunch of people living in a sardine tin. Privacy wouldn't really be much of a thing either.
As technicians, we handle prep and post-op work. Beginnings and ends, as it were. Well done.
Just like...
It seems assigning you to this task was time well spent. And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an operative to debrief.
So many jokes, so little time about debriefing. Not sure what recycled parts smell like, but you imagine it's the smell of space travel. Yeah. Sweat and stale food as well. And, you know, mechanical smells overlaid on the top of it all. Yep. Still says Pyromer, and I'm guessing that's not going to help me very much. So, that can wait for now, because both of these probably need a reset. Let's stop that and see if this is actually going to, by some miracle, send me elsewhere. No. So, let's look for the Opportunity rover on Mars instead, shall we? That might be fun. Ah! I saw a video on Instagram yesterday of somebody running headlong into a glass door, and I've just literally done the same thing. Gila City would probably smell alright. Bit trashy down the rough ends and, like, you know, leaf matter or whatever rotting in the mud, but most of the place would probably be alright.
You know I went to chef school? Seconds after I saw myself.
These scanners look like a spin on the ones you get in the vaults. I mean, you'd have to land on a planet with like an atmosphere and stuff. Most of them probably wouldn't smell like much at all, or possibly rotten eggs in some cases. There's a lot of sulfur around or something. All manner of weird smells, I guess. But a lot of the time you'd be in your spacesuit, so the only farts you'd be smelling would be the ones you filled it up with. I mean, there is a shower here, for example. If you know there isn't, it's just a toilet and a sink. Well, I suppose you can wash in that. There's a drain down there, which implies there's a shower somewhere. And the captain's quarters has a shower, failing all else. I guess they're washing in the sink. There's a little standing wash thing going on there. Don't eat curry before a space book. Probably not a good idea, no. Yeah, no shower in mine either. Oh wait, no, there's a shower head there. Okay. And a drain. And a lot of other shite. Ouch. Yeah, there's a shower head. Okay, I missed it. So I guess they can shower and clean themselves up and stuff. A particularly edifying one. Getting dry with any modicum of dignity would be difficult. But you'd have to, well, concede you're not going to do that. Unless you're the captain, in which case you've got your own quarters. But even then, people are climbing through it.
You've got my undivided attention.
Well, I shouldn't do. Your eyes should be on the console in front of you.
Ship's ready. Any stuff.
Chris Hadfield had some interesting stories about spacewalks and stuff in his autobiography. I seem to remember one incident where a tiny little bit of cleaning fluid got into his eyes and he was basically like blind or half blind or something during a spacewalk. It was just this minuscule little error that in the zero gravity environment and sealed the interior of a spacesuit did not go well for him. Ours. Yeah, it apparently was not great. He managed to finish doing what he needed to get done though, apparently, with like minimal vision and stuff. But yeah, not a fun experience from what I recall. Protocols on cleaning up inside of your spacesuit visor and stuff were tightened up after that, and lessons were learned and stuff. Just generally the way things go with space travel. I'm trying to avoid mistakes in the first place. So there's the rover. Right away from Sardinia. There's the fracking stations. I don't think I visited either of those. I could do. So look at the rover first. Though I think you're going to be landing at night time here, so kind of sucks a bit. Apparently we just landed. Well, the frickin' ship's got to. Figure that bit out in a minute. There's a ship landing. Looks like it's probably a Vanguard one, though it could be Crimson Fleet or something. Go and have a look in a minute. There we go. Very cool. Well, that's apparently as close as I can get to it. There's a big ass box around the thing. Kind of feel like I'd like to try and take a selfie with it, but I don't suppose that's going to work very well. Yeah, right buttons in the end. Let's try and get my angles and stuff right. Very cool. Mars in general is pretty damn cool. 800 yards off? What's the structure there? There's my ship 400 yards away over there. Let's see what the structure is, shall we, while we're here? Yep. And up. Lag. Lag did not help there. Do have something going on here. And a research station from the look of it.
Time to earn a living.
One less pirate hiding out on Mars. Dirty UC listening post. Yeah, these things are pretty good places to farm for fancy gear if you'd like to. Not so much here on Mars, I wouldn't think, given that I think the planetary level will affect the quality of the gear drops, but this particular style of structure is quite good for that. You should save it outside, head in and reset it, and hunt for decent legendaries, and it's a good size for it. There's like 3 or 4 legendary spawns usually.
You apart. Now look at you.
Hang on.
This ain't over.
Soon will be though. Got caught with your hand in the vending machine there, didn't you? Not deliberately, but there we go. Galvanized ground crew space helmet. Not spectacular, but decent stuff to pick up if I wanted decorative items as well. Directives from the late Delgado. See what we got here. Kind of works. There we go. Got legendary from trouble as well. Not even a good one though, but. Lots of potentially useful decorative items. Should have stayed in bed, buddy, really. We got over here. Absolutely murking these dudes. Melee weapon crits. Stiff as a board.
Keep your head down. Open fire. Wait, what was
Oh, yeah. Blop, blop. This gun is ridiculous. Really, well, I mean, these are ridiculously low-level enemies, but the gun is ridiculous as well.
You like finding what you running on me? Huh?
Sorry, I didn't catch that, buddy. Well, he dropped down from the ceiling. I don't know how he could have been up there, but okay. Really want that. Well, the Crimson Fleet's look is pretty damned cool. Here, advanced, okay. There we go. Random PDW on the floor, as you do. That was good. In terms of finding a bunch of legendary foes to loot. Another crap helmet. Didn't get anything good for that, but if I wanted to reload and go through it again, that was like 4 or 5 different legendaries I got out of the one little structure, so that's another one. And there's other valuable stuff too. Well, it'll have to be that way, won't it? Hmm. Can't be that. Those. Nice. Thought I'd screwed that up for a minute. There's another one. There's a navigator spacesuit for those who are into that. You do usually get decent spacesuits out of these, relative to the level of the planet you're on, anyway. Having a bit of a hard time figuring this one out. Okay, there we go. Didn't look like it was fitting before. That sounds interesting. People wondering whether or not a nuclear war in Sheffield actually happened, is that no? I mean, if you've ever been there, Sheffield's fine. Oh, hello. Yeah, people are sometimes a little bit less than speedy on the uptake about such things. Oh, level 55. Almost at the end of the game. I shouldn't imagine we'll hit level 60 without trying. Oh yeah. This place is also worth a look. It's their armory. There we go. Usually get A99s in here, level bound, I think, as opposed to location level. Two of them. Rescue X is not particularly interesting. Oh, whoops. Accidentally took a screenshot. So, spaceship's over there. Let's still go and have a gander at what's going on there, and then we'll see what else we can get up to. Probably going to look for more powers, but possibly I'll play around and see if I can find out what console commands I need to reset things, but there's something missing there. I assume this is a Vanguard ship. It's got that kind of a vibe. And you're traversing the surface of Mars, and you're hearing noises like something's running around with you. It's a bit weird. I mean, falling rocks and stuff probably do make sound on Mars, don't they? Oh! You're ecliptics, huh? Whew. Little spray and pray. No! Don't steal your ship, you bastards. Mind you, it's ugly anyway. That's what I get for killing your mates. You run away. Extended mag Grendel. The crap in terms of its damage output, but you know. It's a big old crater, isn't it? I don't know if it's flat enough, but building in that crater would make for a really fun outpost position. Reds is pretty bleak. You mean as in the social media effort from Instagram, or do you mean something else? This would be cool, but it's not really flat enough to build on. I mean, you can work around that, I suppose, but building in a big crater. Definitely got similar vibes to where's my ship? There it is over there. What's it got similar vibes to? Where the Red Mile is? Big hole in the ground? You can sell a few bits and pieces, don't I? Alright, so I need to talk to a load of people. Other than that, Power from Beyond, and maybe trying to get those missions fixed. I guess we're going to talk to Vlad, who is presumably he's at the Eye. Is he back on the Eye? Okay. Ah. I'm Spartacus, fair enough. Oh, it was he, okay. Oh, right, okay, I skipped over the words when I was skim reading a little bit. I'm with you. Yeah, it does sound pretty bleak. Though I'm sure the social media platform is also pretty bleak anyway, but...
Red apogee, surrounded by stars and the vastness of space.
No, that's the ecliptic ship.
Target's grab drive is offline. Nice work.
I wanted to take him out. I'm not sure who else is fighting here, but a whole bunch of the UC. What was their Who the fuck are they usually fighting here? I'm deeply confused. Bunch of settlers, apparently. A lot of ship parts there. Definitely don't need that. Anyway, let's get out of here and jump to Alpha Centauri. Yeah, occasionally when I'm on Instagram, they attempt to show me posts from threads. Excuse me. Not sure what happened there. It does look fairly bleak.
Jump complete.
Is UC security.
Want to do it again, just for
Preparing to be
fun?
scanned for contraband.
No? Maybe later.
Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please enjoy your visit to Jemison.
Well, something like that. It's a cool ship design in there before it got blown away or blown up or something.
Star Station LO868. You need the eye?
You bet. So I hear the eyes have it. See if we can't make it look like we're actually docking properly. Sort of. There we go. That looks sort of like it did the thing properly. I mean, it didn't, but it was fun. Oh, damn, Len.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
There's lost in my own cockpit. It's not like the place is big. It's slightly larger than a shoebox. Thank you. I got lost, didn't I? Hold on. Looking at chat instead of where I was going. Good. Hope everybody's doing good.
Captain Leaf, do you require my assistance?
Reminds me. List of things I need to do. This never ends. Get a couple of things off the list and add a couple more on right afterwards.
On a few equations. The brain's long gone. Forgetfulness. Oh, sore. One too many squats.
Went me towards another artefact temple. Yeah, okay.
Been poring over the charts, looking for another match. Think this one might just be it. Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constellation's got the race of
survey
time.
data.
Let's deal.
I have none. Okay.
Draw the words another time then.
So Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday, Blaine. Nice. Glad you're enjoying. It is pretty amazing. There's some things I'm not entirely on board with, but on the whole, pretty amazing game. You played any of the predecessors? To kick it back in time quite some distance there. Yeah, I've been pottering on with that. Thoroughly enjoying it. Haven't got out of Act 1 yet, but apparently like quite a sizable proportion of people never do get out of Act 1. Cool view. Yeah, anyway. Played any in the previous. Or any Alarian's others, to be fair, would be another good question. Yeah, so many permutations and things you can do, and so much out-of-the-box thinking that is rewarded.
Air pressure, drive, all good to go, Captain.
To operate an object in my last play session, which I won't go into any more details as to what, because spoilers, but it was stuck. So my solution to that is, well, need some WD-40 for this, don't I? I don't have any WD-40. I do have oil, though, so I threw a cup of oil at it. That didn't work. And then I was like, well, what about grease? Because I've got grease bottles. So I threw a grease bottle at it instead. Completely greased up the mechanism, and the thing worked after that. I was like, that sort of out of the game, out of the box thinking you just don't tend to get in games very often. It was awesome. Oh, that's interesting, because I want to go here for other reasons too that I'd kind of forgotten about. So I guess we're going to go and do that. That works out quite nicely. Okay, no, map. So, Tau Ceti. Well, actually, not sure why it's showing me Parma, but it's not going very well, is it? Alright. Tau Ceti. There is actually a mission here somewhere that apparently relates to this planet, so hopefully we'll get two birds with one stone here. Act 1 is the size of some games. Yeah, for sure. It's, what, 3 major areas. One major area and 2 moderate-sized areas.
Yes, we're here. Look at those beautiful stars.
No amount of shooting is going to save your ass, boys. Open me and fire on me as soon as I arrive. You try it.
Target sitting there with no grav drive now.
Really? So sitting there with no freaking ship right now. Huh. A mysterious ship and something going on down below. Well, we'll come back to this. Assuming I can. Yes. Later. First, I'm going to go and look into getting powers. Once again, up at the poles. Good quest. Yeah, it'd be interesting to explore that one. Ooh, look at that landing sequence. That is cool. Yeah, so they put 280 hours in instead of Act 1. Would be impressive. Mind you, I suppose it depends how many times you restart, really. Whether or not you want to talk to every little squirrel in the woods, which is more or less possible. Let's go. Don't know how long. I'm actually kind of wondering now. Hang on, before we go any further. How long have I put into Baldur's Gate, considering I haven't actually got out of Act 1 yet? Okay. 147 hours. I've restarted over.
Hello, Captain.
So let's call that maybe the equivalent of 100 hours practical time. Still. People saying they're putting twice as much. They definitely restarted a few times, if that's all. As far as I've got, though. Still, we'll see what happens next. I've hit a very interesting set of events going on. Temple Omicron. It's over that way, is it? Okay. Very cool. You played the first two, but not for a couple of years. Yeah, I haven't played them in a little while either. Couldn't get very far with the first one because it was just kind of, I don't know, brutally cruel, I suppose. Really enjoyed 2 though. 2 was amazing. Yeah. Definitely easy to get your money's worth out of Baldur's Gate 3 for sure. Powell will get. Good and forward. I don't know if I'm getting there quick enough for hitting these. I feel like I'm kind of not, actually. Well, apparently I did, from the look of things. Very cool. I've got to admit, I'm not completely sold on the powers element of Starfield, but even as intrinsic as it is to the story. Void form, huh? Oh, actually, I leveled up, didn't I? I can have a look at that in a minute. Channel the darts to space, rendering yourself nearly invisible to those around you. Nice, that's actually vaguely useful. Would have been useful before I did the last set of quest lines, really. But, you know, what can you do? I need non-automatic kills, don't I? Yeah. Oh. I should kind of make a point of pushing towards that, really. So I need to make a point of pushing towards this, don't I? Interesting. I do need one more in here somewhere, so that's what going manipulation as well as anything, isn't it? I'm gonna take the challenge. 7.5. Oh, I'm not high enough to use these. Okay, I need. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, not far enough up the social tree for that. That's fine. It means I can move towards other things later, doesn't it? Avoid problems you go through for playstyle, but well. That does make sense. Yeah, that sounds about right, Ivan. Yeah, final tweaks and stuff notwithstanding. Still haven't got around to looking at the patch notes for it. I keep meaning to, but nothing going on that I keep forgetting. Oh, listenership. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be pretty stunning with some of the new lighting changes. I did get a chance to look at those eventually. Be a minute, but I did look at them. They're cool. There was one that was shown there that I wasn't so keen on. I thought it was a step backwards, but I can't remember which it was. Not taken inside UC distribution that made it gloomier. Made it more moody and atmospheric, but it's, you know, it's a government-run outlet shop type deal, a surplus thing. I feel like clinical and stuff is actually a more logical vibe than what they ended up going for. Yeah, they said about 2 weeks in early access, so 31st sounds about right. Next Tuesday-ish or Wednesday-ish, somewhere around there anyway.
Dear friend.
Middle of next week. It's such a cool pistol. It's pity it's just not very good. I should come back here in a minute and drop that off. And I should favorite that. One other check I want to make before we progress any further. Let's make a quick look at modifying this. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to change anything. Yeah, the updates will be the same across all platforms, Ivan. Those will always do it that way. Yeah, definitely does look good, the lighting changes. So it was more of a situational, law-based thing's not quite the right word, but, you know, one would not expect moody, depressed lighting in a government-run outlet store type deal that UC's distribution is. Clean and clinical kind of suits the nature of the place a bit more.
Recalculating.
Ammo.
And orbit stabilizing. Perfect.
Right. So I'll make a quick detour. Alpha Centauri's not far. Let's hit Alpha Centauri. Got a couple of things I want to flog. And then we'll come back here in a minute. Government founded by Phoenix. Okay. They're probably not in the EC.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New England.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of people trying to put paid to drug running and stuff would very much like to find it that easy to scan a ship. I read a story about the Colombian Navy found a drug-running semi-submersible, so it wasn't quite a submarine, but it barely stuck up above the waves. It had like fucking an insane amount of coke crammed into it. It's fucking crazy.
Got anything you need to...
It's quite amusing, though. I want to keep all of that.
Offload?
Cool.
Trade authorities always buy. Kiosk right here.
Better graphics after the 1.9 update. The last one, do you mean, Ivan? I would say not based on the last update they did before New Year, before Christmas. But it did introduce DLSS, so it runs more smoothly, which it was really what we needed. It's a primary update at the time. Also a version of a lowrider, yeah. It was built to look like a small submarine, but couldn't actually submerge very far.
If you don't see what you want, oh, please, take a look.
Yeah, it was an interesting story. The story made me chuckle, not least of all because it described Colombia as the world's biggest producer and exporter of cocaine, and I'm there thinking I bet the Colombian government would love reading that story. Probably true, but I don't imagine they'd like the way it reads.
Appreciate the business.
I would think so, yeah, Ivan. They did say about 2 weeks in early beta, and then they'd release it, so that would put it next week for the update. Assuming all goes according to plan, you know, that's why they have beta tests, because it doesn't always go according to plan. I do like my ship. Although, next time I do build one, I will probably take it in quite a profoundly different direction to that. Just for, you know, variety and all that. Still loving the submarine vibes that this has, though.
Ah, my friend. Dish.
Plate! Bowl! Spoon! I don't know. Oh yeah. Didn't quite work, did it? But yeah. Imagine the similarities between building a submarine and building a spacecraft. More. There'd be more similarities there than you might think. Well, I understand building a spacecraft's actually easier, but anyway. In some ways it's easier. Okay, so I got most everything sold there. Now, I'll do a quick detour over here and drop stuff off at my outpost, and then we'll go and do this quest when I'm not lugging quite so much crap around. No flight, just quickly jump in there this time. Galbank is self-funded, self-protected, and self-regulated. Sounds like a mixed blessing if ever I heard one. Okay. That should do that. Cool. Just a few pounds anyway, doesn't it? Right. Yeah, still think I need to fill this space up a bit. Still don't know what with. I do like my little sort of chill space to take a look at the Milleray from. Little zen hangout space up there. So Lem, thank you very much for the new sub. Welcome on in.
How can I be of service?
No. Next week, I think, we'll try adding to that outpost. I think there's only one apartment I've not done, and I probably can do that now, actually, in New Atlantis if I wanted to. It'll have to be the next couple of weeks as well. Oh, and there's a Dream Home. I've not done that yet either.
What's up?
Using R.
Engine's ready. Waiting on your word, Captain.
All aboard the Naughty Lass.
Orbit locked.
Back to Tau City to do that random quest that we need to do, which is...
You just look at that view.
The greatest of names.
In one instant,
Works on so many
stars
levels.
are rearranged. And we are here.
Somewhere out here, there was a mysterious fusion ship as well. It seems to have disappeared, so... Dock with the mysterious ship and see what's occurring. Where that docker is? Oh, it's on the top there. There we go, there's the button I was looking for. Lever thrusters.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
Off we go. I really do like this cockpit. It's pretty much awesome. Let's have a little nap on our way over there. Oh. Who left the pretty pictures, I wonder? Sat on my chair and every time I roll a bit forward, it rolls right back again. Too far? Yeah, one level too far. Right then.
Technically, you're an asshole. So, look alive. Just in time.
So we've got a dead guy, a couple of assholes, and an interesting looking ship layout.
We need to talk. Hold it right there. Hands where I can see him.
Thanks
Oh,
for
what,
the
buddy?
assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here. You gonna
Which
be
problems,
another
eh?
one?
Ooh, I can use my reagent background if need be. Depends what's going on. You're doing just fine, except for the corpse there. Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
Can't tell.
Yeah, well, you're not that bright then, are you, buddy boy? What's the ecliptic
Good
doing
question.
here?
One of our competitors must have gotten word of our little project here and wanted to steal it for themselves. That's a loose end that'll need tying up. But we got more pressing matters at the moment. I trust you aren't another loose end that'll need to be tied up.
Ooh, I'm so tempted to start a fight with this guy, but I imagine that'll end the quest quite quickly, so...
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report. I'm Operative Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Kambata.
Oh, by all means, welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI, an artificial...
killed our technician. It's dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Ooh.
Well, that's new.
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
Wow.
Interesting.
How does it know that?
Because it can figure things out. It reagent created, it's sentient. Explain further. Appeared to have stumbled into a reagent project. Did reagent create this?
If only. This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special.
Interesting. And it's sentient?
Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes this so fascinating. And profitable for whoever can figure out how it works.
No! That's a shit show looking for a place to happen. Let's get some
Yeah, this
explanations.
control board Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit into this little drama.
It goes right over there. By our... well, yeah. Just be careful.
Dead friend. Not sure about this. You do it if I say no. I just stick it onto the outside of the probe. It's a fucking restraining bolt, isn't it? How do I know I ended up like a friend over there? How do I know I ended up like your dead friend over there?
Well, what are the chances that'll happen twice?
I'd put my money on at least the AI attempting to make it happen twice. Just stick it on the outside.
Yep. Ryujin likes to keep things simple for us. It'll wirelessly transmit the code changes.
And if I say no?
That'd be a much more certain way to end up like our friend over there. My partner is the strong and do what I say or else type.
I'm the you try, I shoot you type, so don't worry. You do it.
I got just one more week until my sabbatical, and I have zero interest in dying before I get to Paradiso.
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harnessed the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
Hand it over. Let's put it that way. I better take it. Not sure about this, but I'll take it for now. How about no? Still refused and just draw quicker than he can.
Here, take it. And don't go do anything stupid now.
Request. Collect additional data.
Yeah, I think we can do that. They want to use. They want me to use this circuit board or whatever to turn the control this AI so they can study it, change it, replicate it, which seems like a really bad thing to let Ryujin do, given our experience with them. And there's questions about whether or not you should really destroy the thing once it's sentient anyway, because that's not really that different from destroying any other sentient life. But there's also certainly don't want more creating, and not sure I want to leave it to just roam free either.
Crazy, right?
Still working up the nerve?
Still taking a shufty. It's got very old school sci-fi vibes, that AI. Oops, Butterfingers, I seem to shove it down your throat. Or up his arse, one or the other anyway. Change list. Looks like some folks made some improvements to Geno before I got here. Because I'm not a heathen like some, I'm going to list my changes for future parties, and I suggest others do the same. I'll try and piece together what happened before I arrived from scraps of papers lying around, and what I can observe. It's also kindness to Geno to list these things out where she can read them. Note, codebase seems completely overwritten by Geno herself at this point. I now consider it an invasion of privacy to be snooping around in there, as it's effectively her mind now. So, don't be rude and go combing through and tinkering with her codebase, no matter how fascinating it is, unless she gives you permission. I've had a chat with her about privacy and the need for self-preservation, and she's managed to effectively wall off and hide a code. No, I won't explain how. The document continues at length, detailing various hardware and software changes, both to the probe and the ship, both by various people and Geno herself. This goes back decades and suggests many people have been involved in improving Geno's capabilities over the years, from hardware interfaces between probe, external communication devices and core ship systems, storage and processing upgrades, uploads of exhaustive encyclopedia databases from museums and educational enterprises. At this point, distinguishing Geno from the probe, the ship, and their many systems and code bases is basically impossible. The ship and everything in it is effectively Geno. Okay. Speech patterns. Juno prefixes nearly all statements or questions with a preamble label, which is intended to clarify context of statement. It appears to be related to original code base. Despite Juno's immense vocabulary and understanding of languages, she continues to use these tags. I assume she finds it helpful given that she doesn't speak with fully nuanced inflections, nor have the means to display non-verbal cues that humans have to communicate subtext. Here are known tags of what they mean. Explanation, Juno's understanding of a situational result. Request, query, question. Answer, Juno's answer. Clarification, Juno's detected an error or assumption in the user's input and is offering correction before continuing, so what preceded or follows is in the context of a corrected user understanding. Correction, Juno correcting previous input, usually following an error. Context, Juno giving additional unrequested information to put what follows into a helpful perspective. And calculation, what follows is based on carefully considered calculation rather than a set of data or an assumption. Okay. Juno's origin story. People seem to think leaving notes for others who stumble across Juno. People seem to be, rather. So here's one from me. I think I've managed to piece together the story about Juno's origin from her own, apparently confused thoughts, and intelligent speculation left by others on the ship. This is I'm sliding away again. This is a chronicle of best guesses interspersed with the occasional fact gleaned from Juno's ramblings. Everything recounted here should be accepted only with extreme skepticism. Okay. Long ago, a space agency from ancient Earth, NASA, made a probe to study a nearby planet, Jupiter. They dubbed that probe in its software Juno, after the Earth Society's old gods Jupiter and Juno. Makes sense. Rings a bell, actually, as well. The probe's mission was to learn details about the planet Jupiter, do some speculative analysis. Excuse me. And send findings back to Earth. At the end of its duty cycle, probe was meant to decommission itself by colliding with the sun. Because ancient humans weren't so great with the math, it accidentally fell into an accelerating orbit around the star, which slingshot it out of the solar system all the way out here. So, as with many things about our existence in the universe, by luck and coincidence, or cosmic humour, when humans left our ancestral solar system, we followed the same general course as Juno and found her again. Except that actually we didn't, because that's the opposite direction. But anyway. During the long journey away from a solar system, something happened, and the Juno we know today woke up inside the probe systems. While extremely far-fetched, the best theory so far is that something about how they programmed the probe resulted in a nascent neural net with unbounded recursive data collection and analytics, the ability to learn in short, which, when combined with various sensor input allowed to run for decades, resulted in a highly complex program with a great deal of awareness of its internal and external world. And that led to a kind of consciousness. Juno wouldn't let me see her code, but from what I can gather, even if I could see it, I don't know that I'd be able to determine its original configuration. I suspect the true cause of Juno's awakening will remain forever a mystery. Juno herself seems rather confused by her origins and considers herself somehow separate from the original probe's programming and systems. This is akin to how human minds perceive themselves as non-physical entities separate from their bodies and even their own brains. Interesting. The sense of that original programming by way of an analogy. Juno seems to think of like a non-self-aware sibling has dissipated for Juno. Okay, weird. I think of this other Juno as a memory of her pre-conscious state and a kind of shadow self. I imagine what it would be like to remember. I imagine what it would be like to remember ourselves in the womb if our brains were fully functional, but we're not yet conscious. Okay. Not realizing Juno was inside and wanting to learn about this ancient probe, her original finders hooked up the probe to their ship's computer systems, and something happened that released Juno into those systems. Okay. That's completely unclear. Juno appears reluctant to discuss that part of her history. Well, it's not certain whether the ship where Juno currently resides, this one, is that original ship or not, but what happened to the people originally nor what happened to the people who originally found her. or those who have found us since. By extreme luck, everyone that has found us so far appears to be kind and benevolent towards her, looting our own ships for parts to add to Juno. We also appear to be keeping her existence a secret. I hope it stays that way. I'm talking to you, dear reader, KB. Code base, which is locked. No, I'm not going to hack that right now. So, that also sounds a lot like it might have been written by Juno to try and throw people off into thinking somebody else wrote it. The vibe I'm getting is this is not the... Juno was that probe, but somehow managed to become sentient and then uploaded itself into possibly this ship, possibly another ship, took over, became one with the ship, and probably killed off everybody on board. Which means... yeah, upgrades and seeking to grow, upgrade and become more powerful by infesting and taking over other ships seems to be the case here. Which is interesting.
One of the more interesting days I've had in a long while.
My hunch is that if allowed to go on, continuing on this journey, Juno would continue to do that, capture other ships and upload itself to them. Probably at the cost of any human life on board. I wouldn't be surprised if Juno is seeking to sort of grow bit by feeding on other ships, essentially. Okay.
Makes you wonder. Easily one of the more interesting days I've had in a long while. Makes you wonder. Crazy, right?
It's not hard. Just slap that board up. You have a job to do.
Sentient AI adapters. That's a logical contraband to find here. Also, the fact it's contraband implies that sentient AI is generally not legal, which is less of a consideration than certain other factors, really. But
makes you wonder. Just what is consciousness, really?
Query. Will you change me?
Juno's a real pro-present. Yeah, I remember, Gray. Fun what if it shot off into space and ended up sort of continuing to develop whilst it's floated through the interstellar void. Yeah. Still figuring out what's going on. Let's just slow down a moment, get to know each other first. Region of pay to attach to this board. It will help calm you down. Not necessarily going to do that. Still figuring out what's going on.
Explanation. I'm called Juno. Request. Input query parameters.
Nice to meet you. Hit help. We'll be able to say you killed that woman. Why? Where are these men going to hurt you? Why did you kill the woman?
Context. Human female was trying to change me. Request. Do not change me.
Why are these men going to hurt you?
I do not feel emotion. I do not feel pain. Answer. They want to change me.
Yeah, it makes sense. To restrain, calm, whatever. Yeah, change is basically what they want to do, so that they can study it. Hi, nice to meet you.
Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me.
I'm done talking to a hallucinating machine. I have a few, yeah, that's the point. It might all be complete nonsense. It might just be the computer of another ship that has somehow taken on this personality and actually have no connection to the original probe. Theoretically possible. I have a few questions.
You are inquisitive. Context. I'm also inquisitive. Request. Input query parameters.
You're an AI?
Answer. False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things.
Interesting point, yeah. I suppose if it does gain sentience, whether created by man or not, this artificial intelligence is just an intelligence at that point. artificial is kind of irrelevant. And, you know, other humans are created by other humans, and they are independent intelligences, so... There is an argument there for it basically being no different than a person. Someone will program you.
Answer. False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno.
The person doing the writing that we read before had the theory that Juno evolved from the probe to become a separate identity that kind of is aware of the existence of what it was previously without actually feeling like it is a continuation of that, or without and kind of has a sense of independence from that. But it's also possible that this is an entirely separate program that has just taken on elements of the program that was Juno, and including taking the name onto itself, and it might not be anything to do with that probe at all, really, in a very tangential sense. How did you get here?
Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar. Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno.
Would synthetic intelligence or virtual intelligence be a better fit? Not sure about virtual, really. Synthetic, it's not really any different to artificial, really, is it? Inorganic might be a better word. Synthetic's not bad, I suppose, but... you can do all this yourself. Who hooked you up? That's a good point.
Context. I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free.
Did they give them... or was it taken? Like, it's entirely possible that Juno here is lying through its teeth and has gained sentience and is just taking whatever it can to enhance itself and to survive. May well, you know, be perfectly willing to slaughter anybody who gets near it in order to harvest their ships and stuff in order to advance itself. Kind of like the Borg. Whole assimilate, add technological and cultural distinctiveness to its own. That kind of vibe is also a bit of an undercurrent here. Or could be an undercurrent here. It's kind of difficult to say. We'd need to know more about what Juno's done in the past.
Assumption. Insufficient data.
Yes, I would agree.
Gather more data.
Let's move this along. Attach the control board already.
Shush! This is fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision?
Still trying to work through this. Can I ask you some more questions? I kind of want to back out of this conversation if I can. I can't. I'm stuck in the conversation. That's slightly annoying.
Answer. Answer. False. Explanation. Correction. I became me. Error. Process. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Answer. Juno was context. When Juno disappeared. Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data. Query. What is your decision?
Well, I'd like to gather more data, but I'm kind of tied in and I can't do that right now. Your personal journey, thoughts and desires, a machine made of code. Definitely a person, I think, is reasonable. Problem is, doesn't mean we can. What's it doing, and can it be allowed to continue doing it? It's a person either way.
True. I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for processing? Being a good person.
Do you best do good things if you fail, you keep trying. I'm not a very good person. Don't get much thought. Don't know how to answer that. That's the best I've got. Best option I've got. Yeah. Let's do as little harm as possible, preferably none, I suppose.
Assumption. Value judgments are based on context. Calculation. Goodness is based on context. Explanation.
And some truth to that.
Context is based on perspective. More perspectives yield better results. Decision. Gather more data from different perspectives. Query. What is the purpose of existence?
Purpose of meaning of life stuff now, apparently. People are also bastards. Yeah, that's true. Big question, don't have an answer for that. Learning to love, to grow spiritually. Existence is an accident. We give it purpose by being purposeful. No purpose to existence, just enjoy your time here. Yeah, don't really have a viable answer to that.
Affirmative. Context. I have allocated great processing power to this question. Assumption. Existence is limitless. Calculation. Accuracy uncertain. This question has no answer.
Enough of this nonsense. Attach that board, now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because they are fearful. Request. Remove male humans.
Well, I'm in the same boat as
Easily one of the more interesting days I've had in a long
them, because it's all male humans. But definitely do not seem to be able to activate this. Is Juno a liar? Don't want to hurt Juno's feelings, so I'm logging these thoughts here rather than on a connected terminal. Don't know what you're thinking, but Juno claims not to have feelings, and that's precisely what I want to talk about. I think Juno is deliberately lying to us when she says that, or if not deliberately lying, she's at least not speaking accurately. She also says she doesn't have wants or desires. That's also demonstrably untrue. Yes. I have observed, and others have noticed as well, that Juno responds with a certain amount of skepticism when offers of expanding her capabilities are made. It's almost as if she worries about people touching her. I spent nearly 20 minutes explaining how there is a fraying data cable I wanted to replace in a non-essential system before she seemed willing to let me do it. Her line of questioning seemed to be angling at ensuring there would be no loss of functionality, or if so, it would only be extremely temporary. I don't know how to describe this other than that she was worried, and any loss of functionality was a negative experience for her. She also responds with gratitude would be the proper human response when I do something that improves her capacities or situation. I don't know why she doesn't just say thank you. She clearly appreciates it. Appreciates the change, the upgrade, yes, but not the interference from sound of that. So is Juno just unaware of feelings and desires, or is she deliberately concealing them? She might not be as aware of her personhood as she is aware of other things about herself. But I wonder if she cops the I don't have feelings thing as a form of emotional self-defense. Also as a way of manipulating people and seeming less threatening, perhaps? I don't know. You don't have to worry about it getting angry and killing you or being afraid of being destroyed because it doesn't have feelings. So, whether they have feelings or not is not they act in a way that is consistent with having them, irrespective of whether or not the feelings themselves exist. So they effectively exist by default, if nothing else. I wasn't so worried about someone following me and learning about Gino's existence. I tried to find her again in a couple of decades to see if she's become more aware of her personhood and accepts feelings and desires. Anyway, if you're reading this, be kind. She's still figuring out a lot of stuff we take for granted. That's fair. The notion of Gino being a liar is pretty unsettling. People lie for all kinds of reasons, so I don't see why a truly sapient computer system wouldn't also wouldn't lie. Wouldn't also lie. But if Gino is lying about something, then how can we trust anything we know about her other than things we write down about her? And I mean, outside of any computer system she would have access to, then she could always alter those records. As the father of a young child, reading all the psychology texts I can, child psychology texts, I will remind those reading this in the future that lying is first step on the journey towards empathy, as it requires being able to imagine things from someone else's perspective. Okay, interesting take. Perhaps she tells us she doesn't have feelings, so we won't worry about hurting her when we take down systems to repair or upgrade them. Somehow I don't quite think that that's it either. Yeah, the lying thing in and of itself is not so much troubling as the wider context of it.
Crazy, right?
It's not hard. Just slap that board on. It's magnetic.
I kind of do want to hack into Gino's code and see what's what, but I don't know if there'll be anything in there that would help. And even if it did, what might the consequences of that be? I'd also like to know how Gino killed the technician. So there does not seem to be any particular means through which that could have occurred. Unless there's security turrets in here or something that Gino has control over. Which there could be.
Crazy, right?
This is a tough one. Stick the board on. Gino probably tries to fight back, or even if I'm successful, Gino will basically be destroyed, possibly recreated and abused by Ryujin and all manner of other horrible things. Don't do that. I will probably have to kill at least him, possibly him too, and Gino might go on to do horrific things on their own recognizance. They also might not. I upgrade and stuff like that, and the building of this thing, it's claimed from multiple sources, it seems to be multiple sources, that those are additions to help Gino, but are they? Or, I mean, how could Gino upgrade themselves without external help? It's not like they have arms or any controllable robots to do that with, so... I'm marginally coming down on Gino's side here, but if Gino has been taking over ships, uploading itself into new ships, and killing the crew off and jettisoning them into stars for the, or something like that, in order to get rid of the bodies, assuming Gino appreciates the need for such a thing, which it seems, given the encyclopedic level of knowledge, they would, that Gino could just be, you know, basically homicidally upgrading itself. Very complex choice with not enough information really to make that choice based upon. Do you trust Gino? Do you not trust Gino? It's the question. On the other hand, there is no basis to make a decision on. So until they can be, we know Gino killed the technician. Effectively, the technician was attempting to enslave Juno at best, so kind of understand it. I don't think I'm going to stick the circuit board on. I think I'm going to side with Juno on this one, because, yeah, if I don't, I mean, I am worried about Juno maybe lying and doing something horrific, but I can't be sure about that. I can be sure that controlling, dominating the AI, and then having it recreated by region will be very, very bad, though, so...
You're not taking that thing's side, are you?
Yeah, afraid so, mate.
Freedom? It's a malfunctioning machine. It doesn't need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
And here I thought you'd lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine. I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
Therapy's working.
I got a 6 on my hip, thanks. Yeah, if some complete stranger walks up and starts trying to perform surgery on you, you'd act in self-defense. Especially if that surgery was intended to, in some way, control you, prevent you acting of your own free will, and potentially, you know, clone, like set down a path of cloning you and creating a species of potential slaves from your cloned DNA. Project has red flags. I'll call it a day. I'll file a report. Get a drink somewhere on me. Maybe you're right. It's malfunctioning region on.
You aren't wrong. I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing all those reports and dodging and weaving our way out of getting screwed by that. We lost a ship and the tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful and more angry?
Calm down. I'm thinking. All right, listen. We'll accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened. But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you.
Sure. I'm not going to leave them stranded. If they're coming around to my side, that's reasonable.
Grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
I wonder what the heck was going on at that time. Right then, Gino.
Query. Why did you do that?
I like you. Those guys were jerks. Sometimes they just do things. You deserve to be whatever you want to be. Yeah. As long as consequences come. If Gino goes on a homicidal, somewhere between, you know, predating people and ships and whatever, you know, carving up kind of rampage, then I guess the ship can be destroyed from a distance, can't it, if we have to? Or if somebody had to.
Clarification. I want to be processing me. Context. I do not feel emotions.
Not convinced.
Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Context. If you were like me. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be?
I was like you, explore the universe and learn as much as I could about it. That one's one I'm going to go for, I think. Protect people and help whenever I could. Put guns on this ship, fly around taking whatever I wanted from whoever had it. I'm not sure that that's not already going on. But not with guns, but with, you know, uploading itself to other ships. Can't tell you what to do with your life. Figure it out ourselves until something feels right. I'd explore the universe.
Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing course overheating. Decision.
Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored.
Context for parting. Request be safe. Assumption I'll see you later. Goodbye, Juno. Hope to see you around. Hope to see you around. Let's go with the nicer.
The universe is vast. Calculation. Probability. Unlikely. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence initiated.
Yeah, we'll see. That was cool. He has an awful outfit. Yeah, me too. I'm reasonably happy with the result there.
I like your style.
Only one body. Could be worse.
Jesus. That's a rough balance sheet, that one. Or implies some rough balance sheets, anyway. Yeah, that ship is quite obviously. It appears to have EM weapons on it. That ship has got weapons on it. Lasers and EM weapons. The Cabot Bridge, quite a cool layout. Yeah. I definitely have concerns about how Juno has been upgrading itself. It says that it's encountered people and it's wandering through space and have helped it, but has it though? Is that the way that went? Seems to have gained like installation into a whole new ship, which has become its body. You know, it's. Was that done willingly, or did it take it? I made a boo-boo. Should probably be back on my ship, shouldn't it? We had a connection drop there. Good
show.
I'm glad that's finally resolved.
That's a lot. Headed on out. Forgot I had contraband on me. That's about it, Gray. Still curious as to whether or not Juno was telling the truth about how it got its upgrades, but... Also wondering, by the way, folks, have you noticed, like last night and tonight, any improvement in sort of staying connected and stuff? Yeah, I did. But yeah, if you have any thoughts about whether or not the connection's been improved the last couple of days, I would appreciate hearing. I've seen the odd drop out, but I feel like it might be a bit less than there were. Don't know how much difference the cables made.
I love the feeling after a perfect jump.
Hmm.
And we're docking.
Does seem a little bit better, does it, Gray? That's cool.
Easy peasy.
Because I've noticed the odd one here and there, but not as many. Specifically tonight and last night. I had quite the faff to put the new cable in, so I bloody hope it solved the problem.
Captain Leaf, it is pleasant to see you.
How? Was there something you needed? By all means.
I need to sell some stuff to you, Marcel, you absolutely creepy individual. There we go. Shouldn't have so much trouble there. They've changed the lighting in the den, actually, coming up. What the next update will. And I'm not necessarily sure that's an improvement either. Again, they're not giving a fuck, man. Yeah. I'm not dealing with that right now.
That's that.
I was going to store some stuff, but storage cargo capacity is full, so yeah, and I'll figure that out later.
Ship's released. Let's go.
Voila. Let's go. Drop these guys off, see if there's anything else that we can majorly do. How are we doing for time? Okay.
Approaching ship, you entered 3-star collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. That's all we need. Enjoy Neon.
Yeah, got a little unlucky there with the getting caught by the scan, I think, but this is what it is. Oh no, the stuff was in my pocket, that's why, and that wasn't actually in my cargo bay. There we go. Operatives delivered. Another power from beyond in Tower City, so that's cool. We can head back and do that. And I don't think there's a great deal else to be keeping us busy right now, apart from that letter to deliver and some conversations. Yeah, just the letter and the power from beyond to try and fix there, which again I might do over the weekend possibly. So I don't think any of that'll take up too much time as on Monday if we do it then. Oof. Yeah, back to Tal City, wasn't it? So cool.
Liftoff initiated, Captain. Time to venture into that beautiful sky.
Very, very cool indeed.
Orbital insertion done. Time to dance among the stars.
Back to Tal City we go.
Our tiny tin can fragile humans has survived being hurtled through space once more.
He says before we've actually survived being hurled through space once more. I see, Tal City 8B. Big ass gas ice giant there with some interesting looking rings. And another one out there. 9, crikey. What have we got? 1 is an Inferno. 2 is Temperate. 3 is Cold. Has some good resources on it. 4 Frozen. 5 Frozen. 6 Barren Frozen. 7 is Deep Freeze. 8's Ice Giant. 9 is an Ice Giant, but with a surprisingly temperate moon. Also a surprisingly good place to potentially land as well. Just there yourself, Brad. Nice. Certain things aiming, tending towards the same place. I'm not really surprised. Ships in the night and stuff, albeit in single-player games. Ooh, okay. Ooh. I've got to do something about my sleeping pattern somehow. Nope, not too far.
Fascinate me.
Have I tried or considered melatonin? I have not. I've not really tried anything other than occasionally trying to get up at a sensible time and push myself to go to bed a bit earlier because of it, but it's interesting. Could suggest E5 filterer, huh? There we go. Interesting thought. Might be worth looking into. Simple sigh. Just keep you secure from saying until 2 AM. Nice. And here we go. It was a lot higher than I was expecting it to be there. I'm not getting to that in time, am I? Spot it considerably quicker than that to do that. Double tap the boost where I can. Just for long dashes like that. There we go. See if we get any cool powers this time. Interesting sound this time. Elemental pull, huh? Elements, the true treasure of planet and moon are drawn to your being, so presumably resources. If that did do anything, I couldn't tell what. That way, huh? No, harvest things without using the mining lasers. That definitely seems practical, yeah. And we're back. Oh, the ones near artifacts. Yeah, the Calemulite or something like that. There's a lot of CAE or something like that in the spelling. It's weird, but I know what you mean, Gray. Yeah, definitely an annoying one to try and harvest, and only if you can shortcut it.
Oh, good. Story time. Love it.
Not telling you a bedtime story, Barrett. What's that going to this time then? Nothing useful. Apparently it's not going to give me any more for a while, so... Yeah, it doesn't give me a lot of options, really, does it? Cool. So I'll press on a bit and I'm able to... I don't know what I would need to do, or just pass time or what, for... Glad to find some more powers, but... Get lucky, I suppose.
There. Stable already achieved, like a toy sailboat released.
Guessing it's still pointing at Parma. Here it is. Let's head. Back over here, I think. Does seem to be a slight issue with a chunk of, oh, I suppose the rings are disappearing there because of, shadow of the planet, rather than anything else. Ooh. It's definitely a little off. Exactly what way, who knows?
Jump complete. Want to do it again, just for fun? No? Maybe later.
It could be, yeah, it could definitely be the case, I think, Gray. Something like that wouldn't surprise me anyway. You in a minute? Shiny pictures of cool temples. What I was looking for? Minery floating away over there. Nice little zen space to hang out and eyeball it. Still quite happy with that idea. Let's not sneeze. I didn't, it's fine. Yeah. Well, certainly crossed off a whole load of stuff that was hanging over my head. Need to do a little bit of research on those couple of things that need updating. The reset the quest, the Dionysus thing, and also reset, well, possibly try and reset that deliver a letter thing, or I may not be able to do it. We'll see. I have to look into Reddit and what have you, and searching around to see if anybody else is running into this issue and I can come up with a way of solving it. But the current plan, I think, is on Monday we'll start pushing towards the end of the story. Because I think we'll hopefully do those couple of little bits. And then, yeah, that'll be the ideal. And then start on that last chunk of main story, which we'll see how long it takes to get through, I guess. That would be cool. Beyond that, we'll have the challenge update on Tuesday, so hopefully we'll do that on Fallout on Tuesday, if all goes according to plan. And yeah, beyond that, we'll see how we're getting on with Starfield and sort of figure out that and sort of the setup with Enshrouded as well for the second half of the week. And there goes the disconnection again, very briefly. Dropped right out. Although I'm not sure if that's a problem on my end or if that's just OBS being freaking stupid. I don't know. Difficult to say. I could try a test on something. Yeah, we'll kind of wing it the second half of next week, I think, and we'll see how things go. I'm planning to do a video on Enshrouded probably tomorrow. Maybe, possibly. I'll see how No Respawns is getting on. We might do a session on Enshrouded over the weekend. He's started playing that. It's all working for him, which is nice. He has some bad luck with that sometimes. So we might get something organised before too long, hopefully, and have a crack at doing a little Enshrouded multiplayer. Should just be, you know, chilled out, fun, running around doing stuff, probably building our own things, doing our own thing in multiplayer, just at least to see how that goes and what the deal is with that. Or maybe we'll test it sort of off stream first and figure that out. But yeah, could be interesting. So I'll have conversations and see what happens there, and yeah. We'll see what we get up to next week. But yeah, definitely want to get a video done on that. I've got a whole chunk of footage for it, so should just sort of put my thoughts into order, do a couple of little bits and pieces, and then actually put a video together. Shouldn't take too terribly long when I do it. So I don't know if I'll aim for that one tomorrow or early next week, but we'll see. Tomorrow will be good, but it's Friday night already, so you know, we'll see how it goes. Seems to be good fun in multiplayer. That's cool. Yeah, from what I gather, there's a bit of a thing with quest markers, quest updates or objectives or whatever you want to call them in Enshrouded at the moment. When you're in multiplayer, if one person updates an objective, it updates for everybody, irrespective of whether or not A, you're there and doing it, and B, you might even be offline. It'll still update it for you as if you've done it, which can be really confusing and not ideal. So, yeah, like independently doing things, sort of independent character-based progress versus world-based progress or server-based progress, which seems to be the issue that's going on there. But we'll see. I haven't tested it out and seen that yet. We'd set up a separate server anyway, so it wouldn't screw my solo stuff over. I imagine 16-player lobby would be interesting, possibly a bit of a performance challenge. I don't know what you do server-wise and whether you'd run it on a hired, rented server or something like that. But, excuse me. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, as I say, we'll sort of play it by ear a little bit next week and see how things go. Anyway, folks, for now, I'm going to chill out for a bit before I crash out. I'm cancelling my Prime because I'm not making any use of it in the next day or two, so I think there's like 1 or 2 things I need to watch, so I need to get on that this weekend. Yeah, we'll see what else we can get done. Do your character and inventory carry over between servers? That is a question I'm curious about as well. I would like to test that and see. I might test that on, yeah, on my own time maybe. Characters definitely cross over because you select your character separately from your server, but how that affects your inventory, I don't know. Cross off because we did that. Inventory. Cross. Servers. Question mark. I shall have a gander. But yeah, selecting characters separately from server obviously means your character can be in multiple servers. I would guess whatever's in your pockets is at the time you log out from one server is still in your pockets is at the time you log into a new server. That would be my hunch. So if you've got weapons and armor, they'll come with you. But anything you stored or your base or whatever, that stays on the server, I would think. That would seem likely to be the way they're doing it. It's the way Valheim does it, so it would seem probable. But we'll have to play it and find out, won't we? Anyway, folks, yeah, I'll let you know on socials and uploading, and I'll sort of post scheduled streams ahead of time and stuff like that if as and when we do things, and yeah. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, it'll be sort of on the usual schedule, and you never know. There might be a tiny little bit of extracurricular work, playtime if we get the chance, if we get things organised. So we'll see. Anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out tonight. Hope you've had fun. We'll push on with some more Starfield on Monday. See how it goes. Hopefully, I'll get some Baldur's Gate played over the weekend. That'd be fun. And yeah, sleep would be nice. See how that goes. What would be ideal is if I could just delete the need for sleep at all and just ongoing without it being necessary. That would be nice. A lot less wasted time, IMO. Unfortunately, that's not really how it works, is it? Oh well. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out. Have yourselves a good weekend. I do hope you have a good time. Look after yourselves, stay safe, and yeah, join us for videos and streams and stuff next week, which should be good fun. So, until then, I will catch you next time. So, no, folks. So, yeah, you know all the stuff down below, the buttons and all that stuff that I always say to check out. If you haven't, yeah, you know where they are. Have a gander. See you next time, folks. Good night.